Hey, what's
Yeah.
going on, Flash?
Hey, thank you for, I know we've been playing Zoom tag a couple times, so I appreciate it, you being able to make it work.
Of course, man. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to come talk to me and for playing the song and shit. It means a lot.
Yeah, we're playing Paralyzed quite a bit right now.
I love it. Thank you.
It's getting some good traction out here. So let's just dive right on into it. First of all, have you ever been out to Hawaii before?
Dude, never. I need to go.
we need to make that happen for sure. They're just starting to allow concerts again here. So
Oh yeah?
yeah,
dude, that would be so cool. That would be so cool.
Absolutely. So Sueco, tell me about the name. What does it mean? What does it mean to you?
Sueco. So I grew up. So Sueco means Swedish in the language Spanish, and then my whole family is Finnish, like Finnish and Swedish. And where I grew up was mainly like a Mexican neighborhood, and so like all my little homies growing up, when I would go over to their parents' houses, they wouldn't speak English. It was mainly Spanish, and then so they would call me like El Suececito or like El Sueco, like the little Swedish boy, right? And then kind of just the name stuck after a while. And then ever since I was in like middle school, like super young, homies would call me like Sueco or Sueco.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of stuck.
Yeah, I like it. You learned how to play guitar on the video game Rock Band. So
the drums. The drums.
Huh?
The drums.
Oh, yeah. Really? Okay. So did you go in like, I want to play this game to learn how to play drums, or did you just wake up one day after playing the game a bunch and went, holy crap, I know how to play drums now?
So I remember I had wanted that game for Christmas, and then my dad had got it for me for Christmas, and he was like, because my dad was the choir director at the church, and he like played guitar and stuff, and he was trying to like get me into like playing music, and I like was in the church and I like liked it. And I remember he'd try to teach me guitar, and I was not really that interested. So he was like, "Oh, this will make him like music, right?" And that's totally what it did. Yeah. I remember I would get to like expert mode, 100% on the drums, and then they had a drum set at church. And when I sat down at the drum set for the first time, like I could kind of already like jam out a little bit, just because of Rock Band. Because the Rock Band drums, you're like hitting shit on time. Like it's more or less the same thing, except you're just playing drums on little pads instead of actual drums.
Yeah. What is it? It's so many artists that I've interviewed, their parents, there's something about your family being in church, the musicality of it, that it's just so many artists that I've talked to grew up and sort of their first exposure or taste of music, whether it was listening to it or actually, performing in the church band or whatever, that has then led them, like you, to become such big, successful artists. What is it about that experience specifically, do you think that probably more than any other single motivator that I've found in interviewing artists, like that seems to be the number one thing?
I mean, it's just a really easy way to get exposed to music a lot when you're young. I think I don't think it has anything necessarily to do with like religion itself or like the church itself, but more so that it's just live music and participating in live music on a very frequent basis.
Right. What other live music shows are you going to see as a 5-year-old?
Yeah, that you feel what I'm saying? Like you're not going to death metal shows at 5 years old. I mean, maybe you are, but majority you're not.
You have your sort of story is sort of the classic new school way of someone be getting into music now. You've had quite a bit of success on TikTok with a few different formats, styles of songs. And now as a producer, it makes me wonder, when you're putting songs together, now that you've had success on TikTok, is that in the back of your mind? Like, there needs to be like a 8-second or 6-second snippet of this song that needs to resonate with the TikTok crowd, or do you just make the song and then let the chips fall where they may when it comes to social media?
Yeah, honestly, I would say I just try to make the best music. Like I just try, like I'm not thinking about I need to make a TikTok moment in this song. Uh, like sometimes in like the last finish, like when I'm really finalizing the song, I might go, like can I put like a little intro, like of a voice memo or some shit, like, and in my brain, I don't even think it's like to make it a TikTok moment, but just to make some type of moment that's you haven't heard before that is like interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
Like,
And so, as a producer, when you're doing that, are you always on the lookout for just interesting random sounds or something out of the ordinary?
yeah, I mean, I'm always sampling weird shit. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I can say shit.
You're the one recording, not me, so that's just gonna be more. They'll just have to beep that out, I guess. So give me some examples of some weird shit.
So like example, one of the things that I like blew up doing is making beats out of weird sounds. Like that was my original, like how I got publicity was videos of me like sampling, example, like a condom or like
What?
or like a grape, like or like an egg would go viral on Instagram back before TikTok in like 2018. And I would like turn those into full beats. Like I would sample like bing, and with the condom, like you like stretch it out and like let it go. And then I would sample that and turn that into a beat. And like those videos were originally how I got any traction, like before any of my songs blew up. So go ahead.
Why were you looking for such sort of like odd esoteric, sounds when you could just go to the drum set at the church?
I don't know. I thought it was more interesting. It was more fun. And even now, like every now and then, I'll just kind of hear a weird sound or whatever, and I'll whip out my phone and record it. Like literally a couple days ago, I just heard like the train going by, and I don't know why I was just like, this sounds interesting, and I whipped out my phone and I recorded it. I don't know if I'm gonna use it for anything, but like I have it just in case.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is when you hear that sound, do you immediately know how you're going to use it? Or do you just go, this sounds cool, I'm going to figure it out later?
Yeah, usually that's how it is. Unless like we would be filming one of those videos, then I know, okay, I have to turn this somehow into, it's like a challenge almost. But a lot of the time, I don't know how I'm going to use it. I just kind of record it, and if it fits, if it fits somewhere, it fits somewhere. Same thing with like voicemails and shit. Sometimes I'll use voicemails.
Uh-oh. Do your friends know that? People that leave you voicemails know that they might be on the hot seat?
Well, now they do. Yeah.
I remember that. I can't remember the album. The Beastie Boys did the song where they left this guy ranting against the Beastie Boys on a voicemail on a message machine, and they actually put that in the song. And I just thought it was so clever.
Yeah, it's the classic.
Yeah, I love that. So Kanye, so talking about producing, Kanye is your favorite producer.
Yeah.
Is he still your favorite producer because he's sort of going off the deep end, or does that make him an even more interesting producer now?
Well, the thing, my favorite Kanye like work from him is after he went off the deep end. So it's like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and like Yeezus. Those are to me my favorite albums from him, and it's just because the production is so crazy. And even on his recent stuff, like the production, it just does a lot of it almost like it's just like jumping from one thing to the other. It's like not traditional at all, which I really like.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of experimental stuff, and I appreciate that. Anything that's outside the box, and I think he's one of the best at like making stuff that's outside of the box, but still somehow is digestible.
Right. Yeah. He's anything but traditional. That's for sure. I saw a picture of him the other day. I don't know if you saw this on, I don't know whatever media outlet it was. He was meeting with someone and he actually had on like this mask. He looked like a white guy because he was like trying to hide. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
So if you ever get that famous, there you go. You can wear the Mission Impossible face mask.
Yeah, you know, I was just walking around as you know, maybe I'll put someone else's face on. We'll get that road. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever the case may be, Kanye is always interesting. That's for sure.
Most definitely.
Definitely. And you know, I thought it was interesting too. And speaking about Kanye as a producer, obviously in the hip hop world, you started out as Sueco the rapper, and now you know you've gotten to a place where I mean it's heavy alternative sound. You're recording with Travis Barker. Obviously, you know we're playing Paralyzed on Star. So what inspired you to change your sound, or do you even look at it like you're really changing your sound all that much?
Well, I would say so. To me, because my first musical expression really was like punk music and like hardcore music. So my first ever really experience as a vocalist is I was like a screamer in underground band, like hardcore bands here in LA. None of them ever like, we never blew up, but that's still like my kind of basis as a songwriter and as an artist, really. So for me, this is almost like returning back to where I came from. So it doesn't feel real. I know to the outside world, it looks like he's changing, but to me, it's almost like it's just like I said, returning home in a sense.
Okay, so then backing it up, what makes you go from punk, which by the way is punk songs are perfectly structured for TikTok and social media.
Yeah, they're already 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. What made you go from punk then to being a rapper and to hip hop?
I always, so where I grew up, I was the weird one for being into rock music, right? Or, well, I mean, not even weird, but it was just not the normal, right? Everyone was listening to rap and hip hop. So I was always around it and I always loved it. Like, Kendrick is another one of my like favorite artists of all time, like all genres, right? And honestly, the big reason why I started doing like making beats, because I made beats really before I was rapping. I was like the kid at the lunch table in high school with like the pen, and I was like banging on the table, making the beats for all the rappers. Like, so for me, I just started making beats kind of when I started going to university and I wasn't in bands anymore. And then that was kind of my creative outlet, was just making beats. And then because I had all these beats, I was like, hey, I might as well try rapping. And that's kind of where that started.
Is that also sort of a force thing where, you know, you're going to school, maybe you don't know as many people, right? All your bandmates are gone. So you're like, if I don't know anyone that can rap, I'm just going to rap over these beats myself.
Kinda. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was just making beats for fun. Like, I knew I wanted to do music. I'd always wanted to do music since like I was a kid, but I didn't really know how or anything. And so it was just kind of, I just had to make music. It was just this desire within me. So I don't know. It just, like I said, when I started making beats, the next logical progression was start to put my own voice on it.
Yeah. And so working with Travis Barker, how does that come along? I mean, at this point, it seems like you've got maybe one big single fast, and then next thing you know, you're recording with Travis Barker. How did that happen?
You know, he's cool. He reached out to me, like,
he reached out to you.
Yeah, pretty short after Fast blew up. I just saw he was following me one day, and so yeah, we chopped it up. He's a super cool guy. I sent him a couple songs, and then it wasn't until SOS that he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get on this," and it was sick working with him.
He slid into your DMs.
Well, no, I don't even remember. Like, I remember I like kind of stumbled upon his page and I saw he was following me. I was like, oh shit, that's cool. Like, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Are you guys do you plan on working with him again in the future?
We'll see. Maybe. I kind of live day by day.
Yeah. What about you? I mean, pie in the sky, if you could work with anyone, would Kanye be at the top of the list?
Yeah, and Gerard Way. And I would say Billy Joe Armstrong.
That's quite an eclectic mix.
Yeah, yeah. I would say those for sure. That would be my top three. There's a lot of other artists that I would say are like big influences, like even like someone like Tyler the Creator. But just to actually like work with, I would say those three.
Yeah. So if you're in a room with Kanye, are you using his beat, or are you going, "Hey Kanye, here's my beat. What can you do with it?"
I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm gonna be honest. I would be shaking, shitting my pants. Sorry, pooping my pants. I haven't gotten that far.
And I know it might be hard for you to sort of separate the two, much like it is with Kanye, but would you consider yourself a producer first or a musician first? Or is it all just sort of?
I would say a musician first, but what does that even mean? Like, cause that's all encompassing. That's encompassing everything, like the writing, the vocals, the production. I don't know. Like a musician, I guess. I wouldn't say I'm a producer first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And speaking of that, is there new music on the horizon that you can tell us about?
Yes. So when is this airing?
Probably tomorrow. So let's say October 22nd.
Cool. So yeah, so October 29th, that should be a week from today. My song Sober with Arizona Zervis, my homie Arizona Zervis is coming out. And then right now I'm finalizing my full album. Working title is It Was Fun While It Lasted. Hopefully we'll get it out at the top of next year.
Okay, well that's great. I got to wrap it up, but I'm really looking forward to that new song. And Sueco, thank you for taking the time finally for us to connect. I really appreciate it.
Of course, like I said, thanks for taking the time out of your day, and I really appreciate you playing the song and supporting me, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, you know, our listeners love it, so you're definitely doing something right, and I look forward to the next song.
Let's go. Thanks, and appreciate everybody listening right now.
All right. Aloha.